Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a miniature Ouija board. The first thing I do is look up Ouija boards on Google, and I screenshot the images on my phone and I print it up on my printer. If they're too big, then I will customize the size. This is 65%, the one that I decided to use, although I do use the bigger ones as well. So now you're going to take just some balsa wood, and this one I've painted black. You can paint it brown to make it look more like a darker wood, or really whatever color you want. You can also paint it more like a tan to make it match the color of the board itself. I like to have the black edges and make it look a little more vintage that way. So you just line all of that up, get your balsa wood cut down to the right size. You want a little bit of an edge around the paper. Once you get the right size, you just use some hot glue that paper on. And then once it's set, I kind of use different techniques to make the Ouija board look a little more vintage. So on this one, I trimmed it down. I cut some of the edges off, made them a little softer. You can kind of customize this however you want. So the next thing I do, please be careful if you try this at home, is I just use a little bit of a flame to just kind of scorch the edges a bit, just to give it that old, vintage, antique kind of feel. Right here I'm just using sandpaper to kind of sand down those ends and give it again, you just want it to kind of blend with the paper and feel like it's one piece. So this is just a regular piece of paper I've lit on fire to get some of the ashes, and I just rub those ashes on the front of the Ouija board just to, again, make it look a little bit dirty. If it looks too pristine, it doesn't look creepy enough. So there's how it's turned out so far. All right, so now it's time for Mod Podge. It's my favorite part. You just want to brush a thin layer over the entire thing, all of the edges and everything, because you really want to blend that paper into the balsa wood. And now I'm going to use some Model Magic in white, and this is air dry clay, because I'm going to make the planchette. So you can see how tiny this grommet is that I'm using for something so small. The grommet is going to be the hole in the center of the planchette. I just learned that word today. I did not know what this thing was called until just 2 minutes ago before I made this video. So then you're going to stick the grommet into the air dry clay. You're going to form the air dry clay around it. You want to kind of get that heart shape. I'm using this little metal tool. I love this tool. It's one of my favorites. It's got such a thin little ball point on the end. So I just poke it through, and now we have the basic shape. Takes a second to kind of get it to the right size, but that's not bad. Okay, so I've mixed a little bit of brown and black together, and I'm going to paint this darker color brown, but I kept dropping it for the video, so I just painted it on the table, whatever. And now I'm painting it with gold. So the brown is to darken that clay up, and then the gold is to give it a little bit of a shine. But then I'm going to use a paper towel to kind of rub it off while it's still wet, and that way it looks a little more vintage and it's not so shiny. And there you have it, my Ouija board. I hope you guys enjoy this. See you next time.